for the rest of this lesson, we're going to step away from parallel lines and move into perpendicular lines. So when we're looking at a perpendicular line, what I mean is if I have a vertical line and a horizontal line, this gives me a 90-degree angle, and this is the idea of a perpendicular line. Before, we used to be talking about parallel lines, so they were lines that would never touch. Perpendicular lines is a line where it hits the two lines together and they create a 90-degree angle. So the abbreviation for a perpendicular line is actually, it looks like this. So it's like an upside down T. When I'm looking for their slope, unlike perpendicular lines where it had the same slope, when parallel lines are together, they have the same slope. Perpendicular lines, I need the negative reciprocal. Sorry, I'm messing up here. So I need a negative reciprocal. What that means is I'm going to take my slope. So, for instance, my slope in this one is -4. I'm going to find the negative of that. So a negative times another negative gives me what? Negative times a negative gives me a positive. So I'm going to have a +4 here. All right, so negative and negative give me a positive. The reciprocal means I'm going to take this whole number, make it into a fraction, and then flip it over. So I'm going to take this 4 and take this 1 and flip it around. So I'm going to get 1/4. So then my slope for this perpendicular line would be 1/4. So I take my slope, I'm going to multiply it by a negative. So a negative and a negative give me a positive. If I have a whole number, I'm going to put it over 1. And then I'm going to do the reciprocal, which means just flip it over. So the 4 goes to the bottom, the 1 goes on top. So my perpendicular slope would be 1/4. Just like with parallel lines, my y-intercept is going to be different. So the answer for number 6, for finding the slope of a perpendicular line, would be 1/4. For number 7, though, I have a standard form equation. So I need to convert this first into slope-intercept form. So I need the y all by itself. So I'm going to do an upside down T. I'm going to take this 2x and I'm going to move it over. So since it's positive, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. This becomes a 0. Bring down my 3y. So I get 3y equals, my x will go first, -2x. Then my +5. I'm going to take this 3 and I'm going to divide 3 to everything. And I'm going to get, this becomes a 1. Y equals, I can't simplify that, so I'm going to get -2/3x. Can't simplify that either, so it's going to be a +5/3. So if I want to find the perpendicular slope for this line, I would have to take the slope. So I'm going to take the -2/3, -2/3, multiply it by an additional negative. So it's negative times a negative, which gives me a positive. So I'm going to have a +2/3. So +2/3. And then I'm going to take the reciprocal, which means I'm going to flip this over. So 3/2. So my perpendicular slope would be 3/2. So pretty much what you're doing is you're finding your slope, -4. You're changing the sign. So instead of a negative, you're now going to have a positive. If you have a whole number, you're going to put it over 1. And then you're going to flip them over or do the reciprocal. So instead of the 4 being on the top, it's now on the bottom. And instead of the 1 being on the bottom, It's down the top. So you'll get negative 1 over 4 as your perpendicular slope. If it's not in slope-intercept form, you'll have to change it from either standard form or point slope form into slope-intercept. So we're going to solve it, subtract 2x from both, divide everything by 3, simplify it if you can. This one we couldn't. Take my slope and figure it out. So I have a negative here, so I'm going to make it into a positive. I'm going to take 2 over 3, do the reciprocal, which means 3 goes on top, 2 goes on bottom, and my perpendicular slope would be 3 over 2.